Āpadāmapahartāram Dātāram Sarvasampadām Lokābhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namāmyaham. So, welcome to the 16th session. So, this marks the countdown for the end of this epic. It was an epic journey, I believe, because it took us so long to finish. So it's almost like, after this session, there will be only 8 more sessions left. So we can almost see the finishing line. So this is where the war begins. The Yuddha Kandam, we are going to enter into the Yuddha Kandam, most important Kandam. So it will be the most important and most anticipated one. The way he has built up, it clearly shows that Valmiki is a fantastic orator and a narrator. He has narrated the story in such a way that he has been building up for the big war, for the big battle. And yes, we will enter the Yuddha Kandam finally today. But before that, we need to remind ourselves that where did we end the story? Where did we stop the story in the previous week? The previous week, if we have to take a quick recap, we saw Hanuman speaking to Sita. We understood the value of tapasya in Sita's life, or Sita is an embodiment of tapasya. And the way she spoke to Hanuman convinced her. And after all these things, Hanuman gave it a thought that what more should I accomplish in order to ensure that whatever I have achieved so far should not go in vain. What can I do to top whatever I have achieved so far? This is the thinking, this is the thought process of every champion. I'm not here to give you a motivational speech, how Hanuman inspires leaders, modern day leaders. No, not any of that sort. It is a natural tendency for those people. It doesn't happen to everyone. It doesn't come naturally to everyone. Only the likes of Hanuman think like this. They do want to do more than what they can accomplish, or the normal things are accomplished by every messenger. Every Duta accomplishes the normal thing, and then there are some bad messengers who do not accomplish the given task. But what do good and great messengers do? They not only accomplish what task has been assigned to them, they do more than that, which is in alignment with what the task has been assigned to them. So Hanuman tried to do the same thing. What he did was, he wanted to examine Ravana's strength. He wanted to see it for himself. He wanted a first-hand knowledge of Ravana's strength. Any king's strength lies in his army. And he wanted Ravana to expose his army, which he happily did. If Ravana was a wise one, he would have not exposed his strength to anybody. You're not supposed to expose your strength to everyone. A king is supposed to keep an eye on his strength. At what time should he expose it, and at what time should he conceal it? Now, for one monkey, now imagine this, to catch hold of one criminal, if a nation uses 1/4 of its resources, would you call it proper resource management, or would you not? It's a very simple question. No political advisor in their sane mind would call it a proper resource management. This is the reason why we have political advisors, and everybody would advise against it, not to utilize 25% of your strength just to catch hold of one criminal. So if Hanuman was the criminal in the viewpoint of Ravana, then why did he use 25% of his army? 1/4 of his army was exposed. He lost his commander-in-chiefs. Who sends commander-in-chiefs to catch hold of a monkey? One person who has run havoc in your Ashokavanam, and you have sent the most important person of your army, and not one. He sent 5 of them. He lost 5 commander-in-chiefs. That is utter nonsensical strategy. And we need to highlight these kind of points. It's not like Valmiki has done this deliberately. No, he has not done this deliberately. It just shows the impulsive nature of Ravana. And that should serve us as a reminder that when we become impulsive in our life, we do tend to tilt towards Ravana rather than towards Rama. As you can see, none of Rama's decisions were impulsive in nature. He never took any impulsive decisions throughout. You have been watching him very closely. Do you know how difficult it is to know your courage, know your strength, know your power, and yet hold on to your strength? I mean, do you seriously think that Rama needed the help of Sugrīva's army? I don't think so. But he was not there to make a divine gesture. He was there to make us learn how to be humane or how to be normal. See, if Krishna was the special one, Rama is the normal one. Rama is the Jurgen Klopp of football managers, whereas Krishna was Jose Mourinho of football managers, if I have to put it in footballing terms. Jurgen Klopp, the normal one. No fancy things. Just stick to the basics, stick to the plan. He is showing us the pathway, how one should react when we face this kind of situations in or circumstances in life. It's a wonderful handbook. People say that, yes, correct, true human. He never reveals his divinity as well. And when we read Swami Vivekananda's quote, every human being is divine. Sometimes we have to wonder that where did he get this idea? Only by looking at Rama. Only when you look at Rama, divinity in Rama is like, I don't know how to express this in English. I will try for a very bad translation later, but in Kannada, Budi Muchid Kenda. See, divinity in Rama is like Budi Muchid Kenda, fire covered by ashes, covered with ashes. That's the kind of character Rama was when it comes to divinity. But Krishna was full-fledged, burning and grazing fire. He was like, all guns blazing. That was the kind of divinity that Krishna was. But it required for him to be like that. Whereas Rama's avatar or Rama's incarnation, it demanded a subtleness. And people understood subtleness back then. They believed in understanding the lying undertone of each and every character, unlike in the Mahabharata period. In Mahabharata period, until and unless you proclaimed yourself to be the god, no one believed you. Kali Yuga, you leave it. It doesn't matter even if God beats his own trumpet in front of us. It is your truth. You identify yourself as God. I identify myself as human being. This is the sort of nonsense that we have been going through in today's world. I'm sorry, I know this will take me elsewhere. So let me come back to Ramayana. So Hanuman, finally he did this. He decided that this could be my opportunity, not only to take a stock of Ravana's strength, but also I could get an audience with Ravana if I did something that would really disturb Ravana. What could disturb Ravana? His most beloved park, Ashokavanam. Let me destroy this. And it's in his nature. And now I want you to, all of you to keep an eye towards how he changes, how we see two different aspects of, characters, two contrasting characters in Hanuman. On one part, Hanuman is a wise one. On the other half, we see him behave like an absolute monkey, as an ape, impulsive. He does so many things. He already did once when he looked at Mandodari and thought that, he has identified Sita, he has found Sita, and he started jumping and all. And that showcases, and we will see how he analyzes his own character. That's a brilliant insight into character. And kudos to Valmiki for bringing out this subtlety. I mean, that clearly shows that our focus should be on what aspect of Hanuman's character. What kind of Hanuman are we looking at? we can pick any aspect of Hanuman's character, but where does the poet's heart lie when he depicted Hanuman's character? That is the key in understanding Sundarakandam, because there could be some critique minds who will come up with this idea that entire Sundarakanda depicts a Hanuman as a monkey. And you should not be surprised if they come up with this kind of a theory, because there is some depiction of Hanuman's monkey nature in Sundarakandam. But that's not where the poet's heart lies. The poet's heart lies in spite of being a monkey, he overcame them, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Thrice did Hanuman overcame his, Hanuman did overcome his innate nature. How difficult it is to overcome one's innate nature, we already know, all thanks to Ramayana. Only one man in the entire history of mankind has overcome his innate nature. He has changed his DNA. Kaushika to Viśvāmitra. You don't get such examples every day. And we also saw a person who tried his luck, who tried his hand at changing himself, and eventually succumbed to the peer pressure. Maricha. He tried his level best to see. He's the one who proclaimed that Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. I know it makes for a very good line, isn't it? It's very easy to remember. It's catchy. It has everything that is required in a quote, in a good quote. But I still have my doubts cast over that quote, because it was quoted by Maricha. He was a half-baked good. He was raw. He was not yet, he had not yet attained that fulfillment. So whatever he spoke could be a mere illusion as well. Sorry, I did not get this. Isn't Valmiki himself such an example of half-baked good? No,
like Viśvāmitra.
Oh, no. Valmiki was not like Viśvāmitra.
Because we have heard a different story about.
You know, they have woven so many stories about Valmiki to use them against a community called as Valmiki community. That's for vote purposes. That's for vote bank. Valmiki he is called as Prachetasam Akalmasham. He is the son. He belongs to the family of Pracheta. Pracheta is Varuna.
Okay.
You see, Prachetasam Akalmasham. Vedah Prachetasādāsīt. Sakshāt Ramayana. What Ratnakar story? I don't know. Who is Ratnakar?
That hunter story, sir.
No. That is all cooked up story. As I told you, Valmiki was a proper rishi. He was a proper sage. He belonged to, he is called as Prachetasa, son of Pracheta. Pracheta is Varuna. Vedah Prachetasādāsīt Sakshāt Ramayana. That story is simply cooked up to make people believe of that community that your community produced a gem.
I had watched this Upanishad Ganga series from Chinmaya Mission. They had put that up.
See, they must have had some good intentions in their heart to showcase that every strata of society can be involved in penance and all. Of course, I am not arguing against it. I am very much for it. I am saying that everyone needs to be involved in tapasya, but not in the way that people have perceived tapasya. It's not like one path for everyone. It is never possible, isn't it? It's practically impossible. So it's a different kind of story. So Valmiki was a proper sage. Just for today's class's sake, we will just agree to this point, and further inquiries we will make it in future. Only a session about Valmiki. What a great man he was.
Oh, thank you.
So he was not a half-baked good. So he was completely cooked. Pakvamatihi. Okay, fine. Anyway, so Hanuman, the thing that we need to understand from Sundarakanda is, see, it's a mirror to a sadhaka's life. I don't know if I have told this earlier or not in previous sessions or not. I tend to forget, except Ramayana Katha, I tend to forget so many things. So if I have not mentioned it earlier, so this is the thing. It is a mirror to a yoga sadhanam. how a yogi should be, or how he should go on with his sadhana. Even for a yogi, when he is doing his sadhana, he is not out of this world. He has to remain in this world. So when one person remains in this world, we are all subjected to sattva, rajas, and tamas, and the changes, the ups and downs of sattva, rajas, and tamas. And it is very difficult to overcome those. How come we don't know, we don't feel that we don't have that urge to overcome sattva, rajas, and tamas? That is because we are puppets of sattva, rajas, and tamas. See, puppets never know whether they are dominating or whether they are suffering. They don't know anything. They are simply puppets. That's why they are called as puppets. Now, we are the puppets of sattva, rajas, and tamas. So that's why we don't know we are being controlled by sattva, rajas, tamas. Whereas the rishis, the munis, those who are into sadhana, those who are proper yogis, they can understand how sattva, rajas, and tamas affects them. Now, my teacher used to ask this question. Okay, you do Sandhyavandanam every day, you do Achamanam every day. What were you before you did Achamanam? And what are you after you did Achamanam? Have you found out any difference? You have found out nothing. And some smart fellow answered that, when we drink that Achamanam, first time when we drink it, entire body feels that is nothing. You have not drank water for so many hours, and you took one sip of water, and it feels as if it is cooling your entire body. That is not yogic anubhava. That is common sense. And that is not the purpose of Achamanam as well. I feel like, it is cleansing it is not cleansing your entire body. It is simply passing through your all these systems that there are, and you feel chilled because the water is cold. Its nature is cold. That's all. It's very scientific. It's very common. Not that kind of a thing. When we say that this is Shuddha Achamanam, when we do that, what kind of Shuddhi are we trying to achieve? Did we achieve that kind of Shuddhi? So this cross verification needs to be done, which we don't know. Because first of all, we don't know why we should do Achamanam. Secondly, when should we do Achamanam? And thirdly, what happens when we are doing, or when we are going through that process of Achamanam, and what happens in later stages of Achamanam? We don't know. Therefore, it's very difficult for us to understand all these things. Likewise, why is this taking a detour? I don't know. Fine. So, sorry. Some days, it's very difficult to. It's like, a horse without its visor. When a horse puts down its visor, it becomes very difficult for it to concentrate on the path. It wants to run into the wind. Horse running into the wind. That's how I have been today. I'm very sorry. I have already wasted 19 minutes for this. So let's get back to the story. Ravana, he did a debacle there. As a king, as a strategist, he did a massive mistake. And yes, I understood now. We need to focus on that part as well. Because when we do study political strategies or political science, ancient Indian political science, we need to keep an example, a contrasting example as well as a proper example. When we keep Rama and Ravana on two sides of the weighing machine, we need to analyze how they both took decisions. Each and every decision needs to be taken by both Rama and Ravana, needs to be judged. And how do we judge? Look at him. He sent his trump card. He sent his son on whom his entire power relied upon, Indrajit. See, we all know that Ravana won over the Devas and Devatas and all. He did not get the title Indrajit. He who won Indra, he who won over Indra. But his son got that title. Why? Because he was like that. His entire power, 90% of Ravana's power was invested in Indrajit. So he had to send Indrajit, and Indrajit tried his level best to catch hold of Hanuman. But then he finally used Brahmastram. And Hanuman understood that it is my duty to respect the power of Brahmastram. You have to bow down to the power of Brahmastram. If Hanuman had fought that, he had all the strength to fight against Brahmastram. If he did that, then Brahmastram would not be Brahmastram today. I mean, it would have been ruined before the movie came out. That's what I mean. Now it is entirely finished. It is murdered. It is cremated now. But before that as well, we as children growing up, we had heard stories that, Brahmastram is an invincible astram. Nothing can defeat that. And in order to respect that, Hanuman surrendered. And once he surrendered, he was tied up by Indrajit's followers, and he was taken to the palace. He was taken to the court. He was presented in front of Ravana. He saw Ravana for the first time. 10 heads. He looked gigantic. Valmiki explains and describes Ravana like nowhere else. He said that it felt as if Nilanjana Chaya Prakyam. It's as if you took all the black color of this entire world and made a mountain out of it. Ravana looked like that. A gigantic mountain of black, Nilanjana Chaya Prakyam. And then he had this wonderful garland. He was wearing that garland. And with his 10 heads, just imagine how humongous Ravana might have looked. But he was seated atop. It was in that court, he sat there, and he was surrounded by 4 people: Durdhara, Prahasta, Mahaparshva, and Nikumbha. These were his 4 ministers. The giants who protected Lanka so far, who counseled Ravana, and who will counsel Ravana into pit. Durdhara, Prahasta, Mahaparshva, and Nikumbha. And he looked as if when Hanuman saw Ravana surrounded by these 4 people, it almost looked as if this entire universe covered in darkness, surrounded by 4 oceans. Look at the analogy. Out of the world analogy. This is called as out of the world analogy. Valmiki for you. It's not only Hawkeye view analogies that Valmiki can give. He can give out of this universe analogy as well. Quantum physics. Valmiki. Multiple universes. That's why he was in a different universe. He could see Earth and all these things. He looked like, and there's entire Earth covered with darkness, surrounded by 4 oceans. That's how Ravana appeared. Okay. But all this grandeur did not take Hanuman's vision away from Ravana. He gazed upon Ravana for a minute. And then he came up with this line: Aho Rupam, Aho Dhairyam, Aho Sattvam, Aho Dyutihi. He was amazed. Hanuman was amazed. Look at Ravana. Look at Ravana's structure. Look at Ravana's build. Look at Ravana's courage. Look at his glow. Aho Rakshasa Rajasya Sarvalakshana Yuktata. You could not point out a small mistake in the way Ravana was built. He was properly built. Sarvalakshana Yuktata. All the lakshanas that are required for a great king, that are required in a proper man, were present in Ravana. Don't take him lightly. Aho Rakshasa Rajasya Sarvalakshana Yuktata. And what was lacking in him? Yad yadharmo na balavan. Only thing that was lacking in him was dharma. That's why he says, if adharma was not so powerful in Ravana, Syadayam Rakshaseshvara, this Rakshaseshvara, the king of Rakshasas, could have been Syadayam Suralokasya Sashakrasyapi Rakshita. He could have ruled this entire world if adharma was not strong in Ravana. He was built to rule this world, but with only one small mistake: adharma. You see, this is invisible to naked eye. Dharma or adharma is not visible to naked eye. And yet, we may feel that it is the huge one who always rules this world. The big ones always rule this world. No, it is not. It is dharma. And how is dharma according to Rama? You remember that Vāli's episode, Sukshma Paramadurgneya Satan Dharma Plavangama. Sukshma, the most subtle one. Paramadurgneya. It is not only Durgneya. It is not only difficult to know. It is absolutely difficult to know. Paramadurgneya. That is dharma. And that dharma was not, even an ounce of dharma was present in Ravana. Therefore, yad yadharmo na balavana, syadayam rakshaseshvaraha, syadayam suralokasya, sashakrasyapi rakshita. And there is no wonder, Hanuman says, no wonder that every creature on this earth is scared of Ravana. Just look at him. Okay, Ravana's time to respond now. Ravana did not speak a single word to that monkey. Hey, I am the king. How am I supposed to speak to somebody who has been captured? He calls Prahasta. And he says, ask this creature, who is he? Who sent him here? Ask him. That's all. These are the only two lines that Ravana spoke to his minister, Prahasta. He did not speak directly to Hanuman. So Prahasta went and asked Hanuman, see, if you are sent by Indra, Varuna, Yama, or Kubera, don't be scared. There is nothing to worry from your master, because Ravana is your master's master. So he will protect you. Do not worry. Who are you? Where did you come from? Who sent you? Why did you destroy Ashokavanam? Four questions. Hanuman answered, I am not sent by Indra, Varuna, Yama, or Kubera. And I am not something, he asked, Prahasta also asked that, have you, disguised yourself in the form of a monkey? You look like a different creature. Are you a different creature created by Indra, created by Devatas? He said, no. Jatireva mamatvesha. This is my jati, this is my swabhavam, this is my originality, this is my original form. This is how I am. And not even Vishnu has sent me. See, Vishnuna nasmi choditaha. I wanted to meet Ravana. Seriously, yes. Darshane rakshasendrasya tadidam durlabham maya. Do you know how difficult it is to meet Ravana, the likes of Ravana? I wanted to meet him. That is the reason why I destroyed Ashokavanam, to seek his audience, to seek his attention. In order to seek Ravana's attention, I did destroy. I was the one who destroyed Ashokavanam. And I came here for some Rama karyam. Kenachid Rama karyena. It's like, he did not want to mention his exact motive behind coming to Lanka. He said, for some reason I came here. I thought that anyway I have come here. Gramam gachan trinam sprasati. A famous example. Like, when you are walking towards a village, your main motive is to reach the village. But while moving, you simply touch the plants in and around you, isn't it? Because, it is so nice to be in nature and all these kind of nonsense things. So exactly like that. He said that meeting you is not the main thing, the main motive. I came here for some Rama karyam. Anyway, I had come here for Rama karyam. I thought, chalo, tumse bhi mil lete hain. I said, okay, fine, let us see Ravana. There's so much is spoken about you. I thought that let me see what Ravana is. And I have some message for you, Mr. Ravana, my king. Do you want to listen to that message? Yes, please. Ravana was not interested. I thought you will be interested, and I answered on behalf of you. Now Hanuman begins his message. Dear King Ravana, your brother sends regards. So it's like Lannister sends their regards. It gives that kind of a chill, isn't it? The same kind of chill was given by Hanuman when he sent that Sugrīva sends his regards to you. Look at that audacity that Hanuman has. Sugrīva doesn't even know who Ravana is. But Hanuman is making up, he's cooking up everything. Sugrīva sends his regards. It's exactly like how Lannister sends their regards. And the same kind of power that this line carries. He said that, brother, listen to my message. Who is calling whom brother? Sugrīva is addressing Ravana as his brother. Brother, listen to me. Ever since you have taken Sita, ever since you have abducted her, you have been holding on to something. You think that this is a beautiful thing, but it is eventually going to turn out as a poisonous snake. So why don't you give up her? And Sugrīva also happens to have an army of monkeys who are relentless and who have been going all across this universe in search of Sita. Vainateya samah kechit. Look at the analogy that he's giving. He said that Vainateya samaha, they are equal to Garuda. Garuda is the strongest bird. He says that there are monkeys who are as strong as Garuda, who can fly as high and as long as Garuda. And then you forget about Garuda. There are some monkeys in Sugrīva's army who are equal to Vayu. Can you beat the wind? Equal to wind. And they are searching for you. They are searching for Sita everywhere. And I am one of them. I'm just one of them. He's trying to install fear in the mind of Ravana. If you wasted, my poor fellow, if you wasted 1/4 of your army to capture me, imagine what will be your plight when you have to fight us, when we cross the ocean and come here to fight you. What will happen to you with only 3/4 of your army? I've already destroyed 1/4 of your army. What will you do then? This is a lesson in diplomacy. Unfortunately, nobody teaches these things in political science. They need to study this with an insightful manner to understand the arts of diplomacy. Look how he is installing fear. If you are Ravana, tell me honestly, are you not scared when Hanuman speaks like this? If I am Ravana, I am definitely scared. I have not seen Rama myself. I have not seen Sugrīva myself. I have only seen Hanuman. And if Hanuman says that Ahantu Hanuman Nama Marutasya Varasasa, I am only one person. There are several like this in his army. I will be scared. I will definitely be scared. And then he's using, just to look at the way he's installing fear. And then this is like, classic good cop, bad cop wala thing. And people will say that it's a Hollywood invented. It is not Hollywood invented. This is classic Hanuman. He says that, see, this is not proper on your part to indulge yourself in abducting other women who do not belong to you. Paradaran Mahaprajna, no parodhum tumarhasi. He used the adjective, he addressed him as Mahaprajna, not the most intelligent one. Why are you committing this? This is good cop. See, and then I don't think people like you will involve themselves in actions that will not fetch them any good results and will hurt them. So why are you involved in such an action? Listen to me. Naradevaya Janaki Pratidiyatam. Return Janaki to Rama. That's the only way to do so. Then he says that the Sita that you have kept in your home, at your place, thinking that she is going to eventually accept your offer. Griheyam nabhijanasi panchasyam iva pannagim. She is like, pannagi. She is like a serpentine. She is a snake. She's a vicious one. You don't understand. She is eventually going to kill you and your entire family. And she is capable enough to destroy the entire Lanka. And do you have any idea what kind of power she has? The power that she possesses cannot be destroyed, cannot be eradicated, cannot be removed, even by all the gods combined together. Neyam jarayitum shakya, sasurai ramarairapi. You both of them, you make a pact, the Devas and Asuras. Even if you both make a pact, and if both of you came together, attacked together, even then you could not take away even an iota of Sita's courage and Sita's power. This is Sita's power. And you have been very proud of yourselves because you thought that you have taken a boon from Lord Brahma, isn't it? That you should not be killed by any creatures. You forgot to ask one thing, and you have forgotten one thing, that Sugrīva is not nacha devaha, Sugrīvo nacha devoyam, nayakshaha, nacha kindaraha. Sugrīva does not belong to any of these categories. He is a monkey, and Rama is a man. So you forgot to mention when you sought the list, you thought that, what animals can hurt me and what human beings can do to me. So you forgot them, and both of them are combined together. The army of monkeys, guided and led by a man. Beware Ravana. Again, he's turning the heat on. Eventually, brilliant diplomacy, brilliant. Manusho Raghavo Rajan Sugrīvascha Harishvaraha. And when they are combined and when they are attacking as a combined force, I don't think anybody can survive. If anybody does anything to Rama, do you think they can survive long after having hurt or making harm to Rama? It is impossible. And then he says one of the wonderful insight into the tantric worship of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, all kinds of Bhagavati, Shodashi, Mahavidya, whatever you want, give the name, I don't care. Sita is that Bhagavati. And that is mentioned in Sundarakandam. That is mentioned by Hanuman. He says that Yam Sita Etyabhijanasi, the woman whom you think as Sita, Yayam Tishtati Te Grihe, who has been your guest here, or whom you have abducted and placed her here, she is not Sita. Kalaratri Titam Vidhi. She is Kalaratri. See, shivers. That is Sita. Kalaratri Titam Vidhi Sarvalanka Vinashini, man. She is going to destroy the whole Lanka, as you know and have understood. And then he makes one of the iconic statements ever made by Hanuman. I mean, I personally love this line, this particular shloka. He sends a signal of warning to Ravana, because Ravana thought that he has gained supremacy over, he has won over several gods and goddesses. He considered himself to be the most powerful man on this earth. He says that Brahma Swayambhush Chaturananova. Even Lord Brahma, the Bhagavan Brahma who created this entire universe, forget about Brahma. Rudras Trinetras Tripurantakova. You remember Rudra Mahadeva? He not only has Trinetra, that Trinetra reference is because only by opening his third eye, he finished off Kamadeva, burned down to ashes. Kalidasa explains it in such a beautiful way. All the gods assembled there, and they were about to, they joined their hands. Krodham Prabho Samhara Samhara. They were just uttering the word. They were just presenting their custom to Mahadeva that, Prabho, please excuse him. They were about to speak. Krodham Prabho Samhara Samhareti Yavad Giraha Khe Marutam Charanti. Even before that, they were about to open their mouths. Tavat Savanhir Bhavanetra Janma. Bhavanetra Janma. The fire that was born out of Mahadeva's third eye. Bhasma Vashesham Madanam Chakara. Completely burned Madana down to ashes. They were all astonished. They have never seen that kind of a power. Even that Rudra and Tripurantaka, he killed Tripurasura. Okay. Indro, Mahendra, Suranayakova. And you know the references. Why he's called as Mahendra, why he's called as Suranayaka and all. Sthatum Nashakta Yudhiraghavasya. Hey, forget about fighting here. They are not even eligible to stand in front of Rama. They are not even capable enough to stand in front of Rama on the battlefield. That is Rama. I am that Rama's Duta. This is how you deliver a message. If you want to read it and enjoy it, Sundarakanda, 51st Sarga. Read it. Read it 100 times. You will understand how to deliver a message. But don't try it. It's not possible by us. We can only appreciate it. Ravana got so angry. He ordered, kill this creature. That's all. Burn them all. Mad King. This is Mad King for you. He said, kill him. Vibhishana was there. He said, please, you are committing a mistake. This is not right on your part. You are a king. You are supposed to set an example. And while you are supposed to set an example, you should remember that Duta Navadhyaha. No messenger should ever be harmed, should ever be killed. You cannot kill a messenger. Vadham na kurvanti. Is it that nobody kills them? Then Ravana looked at him. What should I do then? Ravana was a man of very few words. You remember that when he had to send his second sons, like second sons, he had to send his second son. Too much of Game of Thrones reference today. I'm very sorry. When he had to send Akshay Kumara, he just looked at him. He just gazed at him. And Prasamaikshataksham. And then just like how the fire rises in a Homakundam, likewise, Akshakumara went up and burned down likewise. So here also he just looked at Vibhishana as if asking him, then what should I do? Do you think I can take this kind of an offense? He has clearly offended me right in front of me, in front of all my people and my followers. I am not going to let him go that easily. Vibhishana had to give some ideas. Vairupyamangeshu dutasya drishta bahavo hi dandaha. You can punish them in several ways. Okay. So what punishments can you give? Give some examples. He said, Vairupyamangeshu. You can cut their hand. You remember Jamie Lannister? They cut his hand. Oh, sorry. Again, another reference. Very bad reference. I don't know. Something has happened to me. Overtook by some virus, I guess. Vairupyamangeshu. Then Kashabhigata. Hold them by their hair and beat them. Moundiam. You remember Arjuna did that to Jayadrata in Mahabharata. Mundanam. Or you can do that Lakshana Sannipataha. Lakshana Sannipata is, I don't know how subtly I can say this. Lakshana Sannipata means to cut off their genitals. That's also one of the punishments that you can actually do to a messenger. Yetan hi dute pravadanti danda. These are the punishments that you can give to them. Vadhastu dutasya nanashrutosti. And nowhere have I heard that a duta can be killed. So do not kill him. Why should we not kill? You should have you should be substantiating your claim. Now Vibhishana says that, see, he is sent by someone else. By killing him, you are not killing the person who sent him. You are simply committing a crime by killing an innocent one. He is an innocent one. He is just a messenger. He's just passing on the message to you. So why would you kill him? And he also said that, do you think there is any other creature which can cross the ocean and relay the message, the response that you are going to give him? I don't think so. So why don't you think calmly and send your message to your enemy, to your opponent, Rama, through him? Don't kill him. Send a message. And if you give him a punishment, then it will send him a message, a coded message. This is why you need to have people like Vibhishana in your council. When you have people like Vibhishana in your council, they will give you these kind of ideas. Otherwise, you will simply take impulsive decisions. So he offended me, I will kill him. What nonsense is that? You can achieve more when you listen to good counsel. That's why you need counselors. Okay, everything was Ravana agreed. Yes, this is right. He's speaking the truth. Even though I do not like, I want him dead, but still, Vibhishana has a point. So what did Ravana decide? He said, Kapinam kilalangulam ishtam bhavati bhushanam. The monkeys love their tail. They love it very much. So light it up. That's the order he gave. He went away. Now all the Rakshasas were very happy. They got very enthusiastic. And they started to bring in all the old and waste clothes that they can find throughout Lanka. They tied it because they wanted to ensure that it is the fire is caught properly. And also resource management, waste management. So they brought it, they poured the oil, gallons of oil onto Hanuman's tail. And then Dangura Saral, they sent a message across Lanka immediately that we are going to lit up the tail of a monkey which destroyed Ashokavanam. And that message reached Sita as well. Of course, very quick. I know, not as quick as WhatsApp, but still quick enough to reach Sita on time. They were about to set fire to Hanuman's tail, and they did set fire to Hanuman's tail by the time the message reached Sita. Upatasthe Vishalakshi Prayataha Vyavahanam. She immediately went to the fireplace in Ashokavanam. Yes, there used to be a place of fire for even in parks. That was our culture. Because we as Bharatiyas, we could have never imagined our life without Agni. Agni was sarvasvam for us. Agni was everything for us. The kind of words that we are supposed to say to Agni, these days we tell it to each other. You are not my everything. Agni is my everything. Like from birth to death, even after death, it is Agni that comes with me. It is Agni who is Havyavahana as well as Kavyavahana. You forget Agni and you say this line to some woman or some man, you are an idiot. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. We are idiots because we have forgotten our true friend. Our true friend is Agni. At times of distress, you want Agni to be with you. At times of happiness, you want Agni to be with you. Don't you remember how Rama and Sugrīva legitimized their friendship? They lit up a fire. Hanuman and Lakshmana, they lit up fire and they made it legit. Anything that is done in front of as Sakshi, Agni should be the Sakshi. That is why it is called as Agni Sakshi. And that word is also ruined for most of the Kannadigas because of the dirty little serial that went on for several years. Agni Sakshi. This is how we ruin some great words, their context and their impactfulness. Fine. But Sita went to the fire. She stood in front of Agni. Yadyastipati Shushrusha. If I have ever listened to my husband, Yadyasti Charitan Tapaha. If I have done any tapasya in my life, Yadiva Tvekapatnitvam. If I have stayed true to only and only my husband, Shito Bhava Hanumataha. May you not harm Hanuman. Yadikinchadanukrojaha. If Rama has even an iota of compassion towards me, Yadiva Bhagya Shesho me. Even if I have a small amount of bhagyam, fortune left in me, Shito Bhava Hanumataha. May you not harm Hanuman. Yadimam Vritta Sampanna Tatsamagama Lalasam Savijanati Dharmatma. If Rama truly knows how badly I seek him, if he truly knows my heart, then Shito Bhava Hanumataha. We can always take this pratignya on Rama. It does wonders here, I tell you. You take pratignya on yourself, you will fail in the immediate second, you will falter. You take pratignya in the name of Rama, ruh kamp jata hai. Nobody dare take a pratignya on the name of Rama. Is there anybody who can take pratignya on Rama's name? This is the reason how this has gone into the folklore, how this is so common across all families, across all levels of society, that when you take a pratignya, shapath, when you do a shapatham, swear on your son, swear on yourself, swear on you, people are afraid of it, right? Because they know that if I'm lying, then it may harm them. Yes, it does. Where do you think these ideas came from? Ramayana. You know how much Ramayana has influenced our culture. You cannot take away this from a commoner. Okay, fine. The sophisticated city people may forget it. But you cannot take this away from a villager. He still thinks that if I wrongly swear on my son's life will be in danger. He still thinks that. It's not innocent. It's not just innocent. It is truthfulness. It is their firm belief. And where do you credit this belief to? You have to credit this to Ramayana. This is the impactfulness of Ramayana. This is how much Ramayana has influenced our ancestors, our people, our culture, our heritage. Nobody can take this away. People may write articles about this. They may speak in public about this, saying that this is superstition. Who cares? Do you think even after we listen to so many nonsensical things, do you think we will dare enough? If I have committed a crime, see, if I have done a mistake, and if I have to swear on my father, my mother, or my son, or my wife, do you think I will go ahead? I don't think so. I will think twice. That's called as culturally rooted, because it is in our DNA. It has been installed with us. It is something that comes inbuilt with us. We cannot take it away. No article can take it away. No narrative can take it away. It is inbuilt in India. That's because of this great episode, great incident where Sita put forth her entire thing. This is like, this is all that I have. I'm putting right in front of it. Shito Bhava Hanumataha. What a great lady. You show me one woman who can do this, I will be her slave. I tell you. You cannot find a woman who can do this. No woman can dare speak these words. Yadivatveka patnitum yadyastipati shushrusha. No, it's not possible. It's easy to be Sita. It is not easy to be Sita. This is feminism. This is true feminism. The true power of a female, the true power of a woman. And I'm not done yet. Pradiptogniriyam kasmat. Okay, fine. All this was over. All of a sudden, Hanuman felt that it is like Himalayas in my tail. Why is this fire, even though it is burning, why is it not hurting me? Why is it not? Why don't I feel that burning sensation? He looked at it. Athava tadidam yaktam yadrashtam plavatamaya. I think first he thought, look at his thought process now. It's brilliant. I want to highlight this thought process. Initially, he thought that drishyate cha mahajwala. It looks as if it is burning like anything. But karoti nachame rujam, it does not bring me any harm. It is not hurting me at all. How is this possible? Shishirasyeva sampata. It's almost as if my tail is put into freezer. It is so cool. It's fire. It's so cool. How is it possible? And then he says that I think Rama Prabhavat. I think it is all because of Rama. See, nobody told Mainaka that this is Rama Karyam, you should do this. Did anybody tell you? Did anybody prompt Mainaka? He all of a sudden he came up out of his cocoon that he had made for himself for Rama Karyam. This is called as Rama Karyam. And I have been using this word of grand scheme of things. Grand scheme of things. You must remember this. Grand scheme of things is nothing but Rama Karyam. There you go. That is Rama Karyam. They said that if a parvata, if a mountain can awaken himself for Rama Karyam, then fire can also calm down, cool down for Rama Karyam. Ramartham sambhramastadrik kimagnirna karishyati. Okay, fine. And then I think Sitayascha Andrishamsyena. I think it is all because of Sita's tapasya. Tejasa Raghavasya, and because of tapasya of Rama. Pitushcha mama sakhena. And Vayu Sakha is the word for Agni. Agni is called as Vayu Sakha. Agni and Vayu are the best friends. If somebody asks you, give an example for best friends, not Duryodhana and Krishna. Shoot yourselves if you ever think of that example as for best friendship. If you cannot think of Krishna and Sudama, there is something wrong with us. If we cannot think of Krishna and Arjuna, there is something wrong with us. If we cannot think of Rama and Guha, there is something wrong with us. If we cannot think of Rama and Sugrīva, there is something wrong with us. These are some of the examples that are present in the story. This is nothing. There could be some people who are as clever as us, and we may remember friendship Rama Sugrīva, friendship Rama Guha. We are only being intelligent and clever. Do you know who are those who naturally understand what is friendship? Those who answer to the question, give an example for friendship, their answer would be Agni and Vayu. They are the ones who truly understand what friendship is. See how Vayu supports Agni. Isn't it? Always, they are always there, hand in hand. And he says that I am the son of wind. So Agni happens to be my father's friend. So will Agni ever hurt his friend's son? I don't think so. Pitushcha mama sakhena namam dahati pavakaha. Okay, fine. Now, I should not let go of this Agni. This Agni should not be wasted. What can I do with Agni? This is what happens when you give fire to a monkey. He thought, Balaika deshaha kshapitaha. See, I have destroyed Ravana's 1/4 of army. And what else is there which protects him? There are 7 limbs of administration, 7 limbs of a Rajyam. Saptangam Rajyam, Kautilya says. And amongst them, one amongst them is Durgam, fort. Lanka was a fortress. Nobody has breached it. Nobody had breached it. Okay. It was what Brisbane was to Australian cricket team. Okay, wrong example. Fine. So nobody had breached that. Hanuman thought that this is the day that Lanka people will remember that even their doors, even their forts can be breached. And one monkey can breach their fort. And he started his work, his magnificent work, a work of art, some people might call it. He burned down each and every single house in Lanka. Not a single space was left which was not burning in Lanka. Every inch of Lanka was burning. Hanuman, what an artist, isn't it? And now comes the repercussions. What did I do? Oh my God, what did I just do? I think those people are great. Yandaro Mahanubhavulu. Who are they? Those who can control their anger. And I did not. I failed to control my anger. I was angry at Ravana and I destroyed entire Lanka. And I forgot that Sita lives in the same Lanka. And as I can see, there is not an inch where Lanka is not burning. I have burned down an entire city which consisted Sita as well. I was sent by Rama and Sugrīva to locate Sita. Not only did I locate Sita, I spoke with her, and then I removed that location from the face of this earth. Is there anything else that a monkey cannot do? He says that Maya khalu tadevedam roshadosha tadarsitam prathitam trishulokeshu kapitvam anavasthitam. So I have finally made a fool out of myself. I have finally established what a monkey I am. By destroying entire Lanka, I have removed the location itself. I was asked to locate Sita. I removed Sita herself. When he was going through this pain, Nimittan Yupapedire, Valmiki comes back to the best form. I mean, I love Valmiki, the Jyotishi. He comes to his best form when he talks about Nimittas and Shakunas and Swapnas and Jyotisha. He is a brilliant fellow. Nimittan Yupapedire. All those Nimittas started to pop up, which gave him confidence that Sita is not burnt. He says that he started thinking again. This is called as interpreting the nature, reading the nature. How many of us can do this? None of us can do this. That is why we suffer. We think that we don't get enough help from nature. We do get ample help from nature. We ignore it. Why? Because we are ignorant. Because we don't know. We are idiots. We are stupids. That's why we can't read. We can't comprehend what the nature tells us. Nature always gives us hints. But there are people like Hanuman who can grasp those hints. And he grasped those hints. Athava, he starts. Athava charu sarvangi rakshita svena tejasa. She must have been protected by her own tapasya. Sita need not be protected. Sita can protect herself. True feminism. Point 1. Nanashishyati kalyani. She cannot be destroyed. Why? Remember this line. Underline this line. Have this line written in Suvarnaksharam. Nagni ragnau pravartate. Fire cannot burn fire. This is the line. Sita is fire. Fire cannot do anything to Sita. Now I want all of you to remember this line, Nagni Ragnau Pravartate. And when we discuss Sita Agni Pravesham, this is not Sita Agni Pravesham. That is Rama's bold gesture to the world. My wife is fire. He showed it to the world. How many men can do that? No one. I tell you, no man can ever do that. Rama did it. Only Rama could have done it. It was not Sita's Agni Pravesham. It was showcasing it to the world that my wife is fire. My wife is Pushpa. Pushpa ante flower unukuntava. Fire. That is Rama for him. Right. And I know I'm making some horrible, poor jokes today, but excuse me, but you have to remember, the next time you see a trending video where you see that fellow, that actor saying that Pushpa ante flower unukuntava, you should not remember his face. You should remember that Rama showed it to this world when none of us were alive. He showcased it to the world that my wife is fire. Nagni Ragnau Pravartate. Remember the line. What a line. Name Dahati Langulam. Hanuman goes on and says that my tail is not burnt. Katham Aryam Pradhakshati. When my tail is not burnt, do you think Sita will be burnt? That's a joke. Okay. Punaschachintayat tatra. And then tapasa. Remember the line again. Tapasa. Due to tapasya. Satyavakyena. Truthfulness. Ananyatvacha bhartari. Because she has been so involved with Rama. Asau nirdahed agni. She can burn the agni. Natam agni pradhakshyati. Not the other way around. What a line. What a line. Isn't it? Asau nirdahed agni. She can burn the fire. Not the other way around. The fire cannot burn her. Dagdheyam nagari lanka. And then the Vidyadharas, the Charanas, the other Devatas who were roaming around, they gave him a message. What an artist. He burned down every inch of Lanka. And not luckily, not fortunately, but Hanuman did not burn down Ashokavanam. What a brilliant fellow he is. And then he was convinced, but he wanted to, confirm it, affirm it. So what he did was, he went back to Sita. He again jumped into that fire, went in search of Sita, found her, bowed down to her, took her permission again, and then he was on his way. And when he was returning from a far away space, the likes of Angada, Jambavan, all the monkeys who were expecting the return of Hanuman, they could identify with Hanuman's Garjanam, with Hanuman's thundering voice, that he must have achieved success. After a successful completion of the mission, here comes Hanuman. When Hanuman landed, they were all eager to know from Hanuman. Drishta Devi ti Vikranta. Drishta Devi. These are the two words that Hanuman spoke initially. And then all of them started to jump and enjoy. They were so happy for him. And they all said, Aho Swamini te Bhakti. What great devotion, Hanuman, you have on Sugrīva and Rama. Aho Viryam, Aho Dhriti. The courage, the strength that you have showcased. Dishtya Drishta Tvaya Devi Ramapatni Yashaswini. We are very glad, we are very happy, genuinely very happy that you are the one who saw Sita. Not even an ounce of envy can be found in these lines. You see this? And this is the sort of story that we need to tell our next generation. Because there is so much of toxic involvement of people, a toxic way of, what do you call that, upbringing the child, where we will pit our child against someone else's child, and saying that, you have to overcome him, you overcome her. Look at this. Everyone genuinely happy. And then Jambavan asked, can you tell us, how did you achieve this massive task? We are all very excited to hear you. But he also gave him a line of caution. He said that, Yascharthas tatra vaktavyaha. Remember, Hanuman, there might be few things that could be only revealed to Rama. Don't tell it to us. You're not supposed to reveal, the information. Data science, yeah. This is pure data science. How do you manage data? How do you bifurcate data? This is how you bifurcate data. Is said that there could be some facts which are meant for only Rama. And if you reveal it to us, it not only makes any sense, but also it is not proper. So keep that in mind, because I know you are very enthusiastic. So in the flow of enthusiasm, you may reveal all the details. You are not supposed to do that. You are supposed to reveal only those details which matter to us. And then he narrated the entire story. This is one of the, what should I say, the highlights of Sundarakandam. This is how you end up your talk. Like he began with a story and he ends with the same content. It's like, sandwiching your entire content. That's proper way of speaking. It's like, introduction and conclusion. They should always fall in synchronization, isn't it? And he narrates the entire first chapter in a condensed form. Only Valmiki could have done this. Nobody else. I have not found any other poet pulling up this trick. They cannot do this. Only Valmiki can do this. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What a literary technique that Valmiki has. The entire story he narrated. And then, while he was narrating, he got so enthusiastic. He said, there are so many great warriors amongst us. I alone destroyed Ravana's 1/4 of army. Do you think it is not possible for all of us, if we attacked Ravana and his army, don't you think we could destroy him? I think we can destroy the entire Lanka and kill Ravana, take Sita and fly back. The young leader, Angada, he got too much excited. He said, yes, Hanuman is speaking the truth. He is right. Let us all go there. I alone can destroy the entire Ravana's army. You people stay here. You people simply be there with me and write chronicles of my valor and courage. I will destroy Lanka. Let us take Sita and go back. What will we answer Sugrīva and Rama when we go and tell them that, oh, did you only see her and come back? Did you not bring her back? What will we answer when they ask that, why did you not bring her back? So let us take her back. There was only one wise man amongst the group of enthusiasts, Jambavan. He spoke, Vichetum vayam agnyaptaha. Dear Angada, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we were only ordered to search. We are a search party. We are sent here to search Sita, not to bring her back. If we ever brought her back, if we ever took her back, Rama might not even accept her. Why? Because you are not supposed to do that. It's not your job. It's his job. It's my job to bring my wife back, not your job. Why did you do this? So let us not do this one. And vrithacha darshitam viryam, and our courage would go waste. We would have simply showcased our strength and valor for no use at all. So let us not involve ourselves in any of these kind of things. Let us head back. They must all be waiting anxiously. They did. They took a small detour. They were all very tired. They wanted to celebrate. And they found Madhuvanam, and not Madhuvana restaurant. This Madhuvana was a different one. It was out of this world Madhuvanam. Sugrīva, Vālī, his forefathers, nobody had even stepped into Madhuvanam. It was maintained for centuries by Sugrīva's ancestors. Angada, Vāli's son, gave them permission. Let us get into Madhuvanam. Who will stop us? We have Hanuman with us. Is there anybody who will deny Hanuman? Or is there anything that can stop Hanuman today? Nothing can stop him. And when you have the protection of Hanuman, everybody becomes a powerful person. Everybody becomes powerful. Powerful people make people powerful. KGF 3 dialogue. Write it down. This is going to be the same dialogue there. Taken from Ramayana. Hanuman makes other monkeys powerful. And they destroyed Madhuvanam, like they enjoyed Madhuvanam like anything. There was a keeper who used to protect the protector of Madhuvanam. His name was Dadhimukha. He tried to stop him, and Valmiki describes that they all beat him. Dadhimukha was a senior fellow, no seniority here. They all beat him. Dadhimukha was very embarrassed. He went to Sugrīva and complained. Vāli's son, Angada, Hanuman, even Jambavan, the wise one, they all have been ruining the most protected and the most beautiful gift that has been handed over to you since generations. Madhuvanam is out, is done, is dusted. Sugrīva, instead of getting angry, was very happy because he said that nobody dares enter my ancestors' Upavanam, my ancestors' park, if they have not achieved the unthinkable. I am very sure that they have achieved the unthinkable, and I am certain that it was Hanuman and no one else. And he ordered the Dadhimukha that let them enjoy, but go and remind them that Sugrīva wants to see them immediately. He did not understand the logic behind it. He did not have the courage to ask him because he was already embarrassed. He went back. He reminded them that Sugrīva wants to meet you. Okay, this was their time to come back. So finally, they came to Prasravana Giri, Prasravana Hill, where Rama and Sugrīva, Lakshmana, everyone were anxiously waiting. Angada was the leader. See, the credit always goes to the leader. He did nothing. Do you think he did nothing? He did plenty of things. He was a young and enthusiastic leader, sometimes over-enthusiastic. I agree, I give you that. But he led those men. Never forget that. A young leader who led the likes of Hanuman and Jambavan. It's not an easy task to do. When you have to lead a team of legends, do you think it is easy? It is not. I mean, yes, of course, those things are not highlighted. The leadership qualities, how Angada managed that team of stalwarts, it's not mentioned here. But that should not make us forget the fact that Angada led a team of great people. And so he deserved that credit. So he was the forefront person when their party, search party, arrived back. And then he gave that stage to Hanuman. Valmiki says that there was a pin drop silence at that moment because everybody wanted to hear Hanuman. Drishta Devi iti Hanumad Vadanad Amritopamam. Valmiki says that it was almost like Amritam for Rama when he heard Drishta Devi, because Rama did not know whether she's alive or not. What has happened to her? So when Hanuman said Drishta, he was ecstatic. Rama was ecstatic. And he was like, it's almost as if he has drank Amritam. And Kvasita Vartate, he started inquiring, how is she? How is she doing? And all these things. Hanuman narrated it. And he narrated the story that Sita had told about that crow, that Brahmastra Prakaranam. It was a private story. So that's why it was narrated only to the ears of Rama. And then the Chudamani was given. Rama was in tears when he held Sita's Chudamani. And fine. That brings us to the end of Sundarakandam. He narrated the whole story, and now the seeds of war. The Yuddha Kandam, the Lanka Kandam begins. In the beginning, there is this beautiful, one of the most wonderfully scripted episodes, scripted sargas in the entire Ramayana. Rama says that I don't see anybody else who could have crossed this ocean. Now he's coming into sense. Now he's, it is sinking in for Rama now. Do you know how difficult it is to imagine to cross an ocean? Imagine the pranayama that is required. The dairghyam of prana that is required, the control over our breathing that is required. 2 minutes when this instructor says, hold your breath, he will be like a fish out of water. Hanuman, he must have held his breath for how long? 100 yojanas. We can't even see the end of the ocean. and he flew across the ocean. And it was all sinking in Rama. And not only did he cross the ocean, Nachatma Laghutam Nitaha, he did not bring down himself. Okay. And Sugrīvas Chapitoshitaha, he made Sugrīva happy and proud. Ahancha Raghuvamshascha Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha. And he also made me, my Vamsha, and my brother very proud of himself. What a great job. What a commendable job Hanuman has done. But something is bothering me. I am a nobody now. I don't have anything. As a king, when somebody does something remarkable for you, a king has this innate feeling to give something. That's not just for a king. It happens to everybody. I don't know if you have experienced this kind of thing in your life, but you should experience. Those are the kind of gifts that will stay with you forever. And not the ones that people bring you on your day of wedding. Or when you invite them for a party and they bring some gift. That's not a gift. Lava and Kusha, for the very first time, sang Ramayanam in front of a rishi, in front of a parishat of rishis. One rishi, Valmiki has described it. One rishi was carrying a pile of sticks, samit. He gave it away. He gave it to Lava and Kusha. We might laugh at it. One rishi gave a kamandalu. One rishi gave his vastram. One rishi gave his kaupinam. I know people laugh at this, but that what thing they gave is not important. They felt that something must be given. Because that was the kind of level that Lava and Kusha sang. The same thing that Rama felt, that he has done so much for me, I should give something to him. I don't have anything with me right now. Idantu mama deenasya mano bhuyah prakarshite. And this really hurts me. Yadihasya priyakyatur nakurmi sadrisham priyam. I don't have anything with me at this moment. I don't possess anything at this moment with me, which I can give him in return. But I have one thing that I can give him. Yesha sarvasva bhuto me parishvango hanumataha. This is my entirety. This is me. This is all of me. And then he hugged Hanuman. Only a few people have been hugged by Rama. Hanuman is number one. What a moment. This is a moment that we all need to savor. What a brilliant moment. That's why I said one of the iconic episodes scripted by Valmiki. Yesha sarvasva bhutastu parishvango hanumataha maya kala mimam prapya dattastasya mahatmanaha. Hanumantam kritatmanam kritakaryam upagatam ramastam parishasvaje. The usage of word, it's almost as if you are tasting that honey on your tongue when you utter this line. Ramastam parishasvaje. Alilinga could also have been the word, but no, parishasvaje. There is a different level for the word parishasvaje. You don't find this parishasvaje, the word parishasvaje, in any of Kalidasa's works. I mean, most of Kalidasa's works. There are several occasions where he could have used this word. No, it's a special word. It carries that much of weightage. It is so unfortunate that none of us know what it means to be hugged by the God himself. We cannot imagine what it means to be hugged by Rama. But Hanuman knew. Only the likes of Hanuman could know what it means to be hugged by Rama. And it was not simply a hug. It was not a congratulatory hug. Yesha sarvasva bhuto me parishvango hanumataha. He said, sarvasva bhutaha. What else do you need in life? When Rama himself says that this is my sarvasvam, this is all of me. And he hugged Hanuman. Isn't it epic? I mean, how many highs and lows do we get in Ramayana? How many elevation? When that KGF came out, people, the critics, they said elevation. What elevation? Look at this elevation. He takes us to an entirely another world, and you don't want to move out of it. You don't want to continue the story. You just want to stay there, close your eyes, and just enjoy each and every second of it when Rama hugged Hanuman. What a brilliant scene. Okay, fine, but I have to move on. So finally, it was time for strategies, because Hanuman had clearly given the message of Sita to Rama that 1 month, that's the time. And within 1 month, they have to do everything and they have to get there to Lanka. Hanuman makes a beautiful description of Lanka and its fort, the way the city is built, how many openings are there, from where can we attack, how is Lanka protected, and what kind of expectations can we have, and where is Ravana's power, where does Ravana's power lie. A study of a kingdom by Hanuman. This is how you prepare a report. Report preparation 101 for all of us. This is how you make a report. What a brilliant report. Chapter number 3 of Yuddhakandam. Not a report to be missed, not a chapter to be missed if you are interested in report making. Brilliant. Balaika deshaha kshapitaha. And he says that Dagdha cha nagari Lanka. I have burned down the entire city. And 1/4 of his army is gone. So he says that Yena kena tu margena tarama varunalayam. The only task remaining with us is whatever way we can find, we just have to cross the ocean. Said Swamin, if we cross the ocean, hateti nagari Lanka vanareru padharyata. The moment we cross the ocean, Lanka is finished. We have won Lanka. Confidence. Look at the strategist Hanuman speaking. What a brilliant fellow. You need this kind of a man. And this is the reason why for the very first time when Rama met Hanuman, he told this to Lakshmana that a king who does not have a minister like Hanuman cannot rule. Is not a king at all. You need to have a minister like him, who is good at diplomacy, who is good at strategy, who can prepare a report like anything. And I mean, he did not use any PPTs. And yet he conveyed the message in such a brilliant way, a positive ending. I have not seen in my experience, not many people can present a report like this, which leads to some potential outcome. It's usually, it generally ends up by tom-tomming their achievement. He did not beat his own trumpet for his own achievements. He said that the only thing that remaining is we have to cross the ocean. I don't know how we are going to do it. The only thing that you need to worry as the leader of this army is, how do we cross the ocean? You make the plan, you take us, you make us cross the ocean, Lanka is yours. This is the kind of words you need to hear before you begin the war, isn't it? I mean, how many war movies have you not watched where people have told us that you put us there, the Lanka is won, the territory is won. That's the confidence that Hanuman brings to the table. Okay, they all started immediately. Remember, they were still in Prasravanagiri, almost like, close to Karnataka. And from Karnataka to Lanka, they reached, not Lanka, near Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, the borders of Tamil Nadu. They reached there. And it was a wonderful journey. And I'm not going to explain the journey because you can read it and enjoy it yourself. On the now comes Neela, the architect. Okay, the engineer. The people who, there are so many engineers nowadays. Neela was also an engineer. He was assigned with the task of coming up with a plan to build a bridge to cross the ocean. The unthinkable, the impossible, never ever have been done before in history. Nobody has built a bridge on an ocean. And when I was in Banaras, they have been building a bridge from this end to that end of Ganga. They have been building it since past 20 years. I have not been able to build it with so much of engineering, with so much of funding, so many things. And yet they are not able to build a simple bridge across river Ganga. This is 100 times the size of Ganga. Neela has been assigned with the task of building a bridge across the ocean. Meanwhile, what happens there is Ravana conveys a meeting. He also brings upon his counselors. He asks them their opinion, and he asks them that, what should I do? What should we do? Is there anything that we can do in order to, what should be our strategy? Do we defend? Do we attack? A siege is always difficult because you have an upper hand. So usually what they say is, if you are the ones who are being attacked, it's always easy for you to defend because you don't have to take the risk. You just have to plan it in a wise way. So they are the ones who want to attack you. Okay, they are the ones who want to be on front foot. So you can sit back and defend well. But there is the 6th chapter in Yuddhakandam where Ravana gives us some brilliant insights into Arthashastra. How should any king govern or administer? Kinkarishyami uchyatam. He asks, what should I do? Do tell me. Mantramulancha vijayam pravadanti manasvinaha. Said mantramulo hi vijayaha. Triumph is always dependent on counsel, on advisors. The stronger your advisory committee is, assured is victory to you. The weaker your advisory committee gets, your chances of tasting triumph diminishes rapidly. So you should have a strong committee which will determine the outcome. It's the committee, it's the council that determines victory. I know many people don't agree with this, especially nowadays. They think that armies win wars. They don't. It's the strategists that win wars. What is the biggest example for that? An untrained army led by Rāma against an army of veterans led by Ravana. They succeeded over them. They won over them. Okay, this may seem a bit far-fetched because an army of monkeys is too much for us to imagine. How about 11 Akshauhinis against 7 Akshauhinis? On paper, Pandavas stood no chance at all. They did have no chance, actually speaking. All the stalwarts, all the great warriors were on Duryodhana's side. They were led by Bhishma, who is invincible, who cannot be killed. It is like, it's like what going into and banging our head onto a boulder. But eventually, in a span of 18 days, the 11 Akshauhini party succumbed. They are all dead. Isn't it wonderful? This is the reason why Ramayana and Valmiki, they keep on reminding us that Naikanta Vijayo Yuddhe. You cannot predict result in a war. Yes. Kaivartakah Keshava. Because they had one man who could guide them through the ocean. Kaivartakah Keshava. It's a brilliant analogy given by Vyasa, actually. It's from Mahabharata. It's a brilliant analogy given by Vyasa. Shalyagrahavati kripena vahani karnena velakula Duryodhana vartini sotirna bhishmadrona tata jayadratha jala gandhara nilodpala Shalyagrahavati kripena vahani karnena velakula. Ashwathama Vikarana Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khadavandavai Rananadi. It was a Rananadi. Even then, Sotirna, Uttirna, they crossed it. Kaivartaka Keshavaha. He was there, no? So you need one strategist and your job is done. Mantra Mulohi Vijaya. And Ravana knew this in theory, not in practice. But in theory, he speaks very highly of theory, but practically very poor. It's like in a very technical subject, failing the practical exam and scoring good marks in theory. It makes no sense at all in a technical subject, isn't it? So likewise, he says that Trividha Purusha Loke Uttama Dhamma Madhyama. He says that there are three kinds of people, Uttama, Madhyama, and Adhama. So, who is an Uttama Purusha? He says that Mantras Tribhirhi Sanyukta Samarthair Mantra Nirnaya. There should be a minimum of at least 3 people in an advisory committee or in a council. In a council, there should be a minimum of 3 people. And it is still followed. Whenever the government says that we are looking into it, we have formed a committee, there will be a minimum of 3 people. But the problem with current day administration is they think that we have to have equal representation from different departments. It doesn't work that way. You need to find the best people on every committee, whoever is best for that particular task. Now he gives who should be on the committee, in any committee, advisory committee. Mitraihi, friends. Okay. Samanarthaihi, those people who can understand what we are going through. Those who are aware of the entire process, they should be involved. Or Bandhavaihi, your relatives. Or Adhikaihi, those who are more well learned than you. They should be in the committee. Just look at this. Non-biased, absolutely non-biased. You should have good people, you should have intelligent people in your committee. And he who takes their, or he who heeds to their counsel and starts and executes his work, he is called as Uttama Purusha. And he also takes into consideration Daivecha Kurute Yatnam. Daiva needs to be involved there. Not Panjurli Daiva, not that kind of Daiva. Daiva here refers to Jyotisham. The impact of Jyotisha on Yuddha. There is a separate wing in Jyotisha called as Yuddha Prashnam. Yes, many people are amazed when I say this. There is a different wing in Jyotisha called as Roga Prashnam, Deva Prashnam, Bhojana Prashnam, Nashta Prashnam. Likewise, there is Yuddha Prashnam as well. There are several works written on Yuddha Prashnam. See, the same Ravichandra Kujabudha, Guru Shukra Shani Rahu Ketu denote something else, entirely something else, when you are looking at a Yuddha Prashnam. It's remarkable. The science, I tell you, is remarkable. Okay. And you need to have an astrologer, you need to have a Jyotishi in your committee. Sounds laughable in today's perspective, isn't it? But it's the need of the hour. You need to have, otherwise, how will you calculate? How will you recognize what is the best muhurtam? When should you step out for the war? Do you think all these decisions are taken by only the committee members, only the ministers? This is why a Purohita is also a Mantri. And that Purohita, he needs to be like Vasishtha. Vasishtha was a Brahmajnani. A Brahmajnani knows everything. He knows Jyotisha as well. And when it started decreasing during the later stages, we started to have Jyotishis as well. The kings used to have Jyotishis as well in their council. You must have heard the famous story of Navaratnas of Bhoja. And they say that he had 9 gems in his council. And one of them was a Ganitagnya, one of them was Varahamihira, isn't it? That's the story. One of them was Varahamihira. Why do you have to have Varahamihira? He is an astrologer. Yes. Who needs astrologer the most? A king. The king needs the astrologer the most. The most important decisions are taken by him. Okay, fine. Daivecha Kurute Yatnam Tamahu Purushottam, he is Uttama Purusha. And then There is Madhyama as well. What is the definition of a Madhyama Purusha? He says that he thinks alone. Ekortham vimrishayati. Eko dharme prakurute manaha. He decides everything all by himself. Ekah karyani kurute. My life, my rules. Kind of an idiotic person is a mediocre person. Tamahur madhyamam naram. And then there is another level, the Adhama Purusha. Gunadoshau nanishchetya. He doesn't weigh the pros and cons of it. And Daiva vyapashrayam tyaktva. He discounts the Daivam. He does not take Daiva into consideration. Karishyami diyakaryam. A man is a maker of his own fortune. Ghanta fortune. You cannot make any fortune without Daivam. How can you make your own fortune? These are the kind of attitudes that is definitely going to take you down the pit. Daivam, Daiva vyapashrayam tyaktva, gunadoshav nanishchitya, karishyami iti yakaryam. I can do, so I will do. Upekshetsa naradhama. He is called as a naradhama. Likewise, there are three kinds of counsel as well. I know I'm elaborating too much on this, but this is required. This is important. India, the country, my brothers and sisters of this country need to hear what a great science we had, political science we had. And we don't access all these things. We think Ramayana is simply a story of Rama, Sita, Hanuman. No, it is not. There is political science here. Nobody pays attention to these things. But my honest intention, my motive is, if you people listen to this, you will be, if you are initiated into studying the original Ramayana, then my job is done. Or if you initiate someone else who are interested in politics or studying political science and all those things, imagine what will happen if a couple of our bureaucrats, the IAS people, if a couple of them get an idea of all these things, you know how good it could be for our country. Anything can happen. Who knows? Because it is anyway, it is going to be on YouTube. Who knows? Some bureaucrat might listen to this. I mean, I know I'm in for a. I'm scared because I have spoken so many things against so many people and so many ideas. So anyway, but good things must be told. So there are three types of mantra as well. That is counsel. Counsel is also of three types: Uttama, Madhyama, and Adhama. Aikamatyam upagamya. He says that all of them should arrive at conclusion. You show me any one meeting where everybody agrees to one thing. See, if a boss makes a presentation and then tells everyone to follow these guidelines, it's not a meeting. It's not a council meeting. It is ordering, that's all. You cannot call it as a meeting where your opinion matters. Your opinion does not matter. You blabber whatever you want, you are eventually asked to do what I am going to tell you. That's not meeting. He says that is Adhama mantra. Uttama mantra is Aikamatyam upagamya. All of them should have the same motive in their mind. Okay. And then Shastra Drishtena Chakshusha. They should have the knowledge of Shastras. And then if they give a counsel and if they arrive at a conclusion, that is called as an Uttama mantra. In the medium one, the mediocre one is Mantrino, okay, Bahvirapi Matir Gatva. So many opinions are collected. Many people have spoken on this matter, and all those things have been collected together, and yet they cannot arrive at a conclusion. The current days seminars, workshops, conferences, this is the fate. So many people come to a conference, they present their idea. What is the outcome of this conference? We got to know so many aspects of this particular topic. You are an idiot. You should have known this before. Did you arrive at any strong conclusion? No. No conference ever comes at a conclusion. They simply waste money and resources. Human hours, isn't it? Have you ever seen any conference where they have come to a strong conclusion? They cannot, because they don't want to hurt his ego. They don't want to hurt their ego, because they are funding, this fellow is funding. So many complications are there. That is called as a mediocre mantra. And then the last one. Everybody quarrels amongst each other. my opinion is correct, and he says that no, my opinion is correct. And with the internal fighting, no conclusion is ever achieved. That is called as an adhama mantra. Now he says that we have a task at our hand. Ravana says this, we have a task at our hand, and I want the best of you to be at your best and counsel me, guide me, advise me. Rama is coming to Lanka. He has made up his mind. Ravana has made up his mind that he is sure. See the impact of Hanuman's message. When he delivered that message in the 51st Sarga of Sundarakandam, it did reach Ravana. That is why he is making this. Vanaranam hidhiranam sahasrais parivaritaha. With an army of monkeys, Ramo abhyeti purim Lanka. I want to point out a small Sanskrit thing here, Sanskrit grammar thing, which will give you an insight of how much of an impact Hanuman's diplomacy has done on Ravana. Abhyeti is a Vartamana Kala, is a Latlakaram. It's in a present tense. It's not future tense, which means he's sure of it. When we use that, he might come tomorrow, that's the proper usage. I don't know that English must be polished somewhere, and an English fellow can do that. But you understood. Nale barabahudu. That should be the ideal way to speak it. There is a chance that he may come tomorrow. He's not saying that Rama might come to Lanka. No. Ramo abhyeshyati should be the right usage. And he's not using that. Ramo abhyeti. Eti is the Kriyapadam here. Eti means Vartamana Kalam. Eti itaha yanti. That is the Kriyapadam. Abhyeti means he is definitely coming to Lanka. He is sure of it. Ramo abhyeti purim Lanka. Asmakam uparodhaka. And he is going to attack us. Tarishyati cha suvyaktam Raghava sagaram sukham. And now he prompted himself, Ravana. He came out of his fear in front of his counselors because he did not want to showcase himself as a weak and scared leader. So he corrected himself. Grammatically, he corrected himself. Now he uses Bhavishyat Kalam. Tarishyati. He shall cross the ocean. Raghava. Raghava shall cross the ocean. And that too without a doubt. Suvyaktam. He shall definitely cross the ocean. Sasukham. Yeah, Aram se. I'm very sure of it. So, Samudramuchoshayati. If he is not able to cross the ocean, I'm very sure that Uchoshayati, he might extract all the water from ocean. He has that much of strength. Viryena, Anyat Karotiva. He might do something else. But it is sure that he is coming to Lanka. We should be prepared for war. Tasmin nevam vidhe karye viruddhe vanaraisaha. So we are pitted against vanaras. We have never faced them. This is the first time we are facing vanaras. We don't know who are they. We don't know their strengths and weaknesses. How are we going to strategize? Hitam purecha sainyecha sarvam sammantrita mama. Counsel on what needs to be done for the safeguarding of people. First point, hitam pure. When you are going to war, what is the first thing that you need to do? Safeguard the interests of your people. If you cannot sustain the attack of a nation, you do not put your ego first. You put the welfare of your innocent people first. If you did not think about the welfare of your people and then you start playing innocent, it is like, how some footballers fake their injury, fake a foul, and extract yellow cards, red cards, penalties, and all these things. It's faking, like how this Ukrainian idiot did. Did he not know that Russia is more powerful? And why do you have to cry later that so many innocent children died, so many innocent women died? It's your responsibility. All their deaths come on your head. You are the king, you are the leader, you are responsible for that. You should surrender to them. because it's your weakness. Sorry, I don't want to involve in this political debate, but you understand. He could have attacked. Vladimir Putin could have attacked Ukraine at any given point of time. Why did he choose this time? Because he understood he is weak. He studied him. These are the things that we need to understand how things work in actual world. And our political science can give us plenty of insights. We need to change the way counseling and political advisory is happening in this country. We need to bring back the indigenous ideas, and then we can see the results. You should not work with that hatred. And I don't like a neighboring country, so my whole mission is to destroy. No, that's not how you work in diplomacy. We have bigger threats from the eastern part of our neighbors. Nobody thinks about the eastern neighbors. We do share some border with them. Why are we not scared of them? We should be scared of them because they are more powerful than us. But we should not showcase our fear. You know how important it is for people like all of us to contribute something in this regard. I mean, contributing does not mean typing something, blog, vlog. No. If you really want to contribute something, take up IAS, become a bureaucrat, contribute solidly to the nation. Otherwise, keep quiet. Moving on. Hitam pure jasainecha sarvam sammantritam mama. He called upon his counselors. And then it goes all downhill for Ravana. That we will see in the next week, the coming week. It is going to be very interesting, I assure you. Yuddha Kanda is not simply he killed him, he attacked them, he was so big. It's not simply about that. It's about strategy. It's about dharma sukshma. It's about understanding several things. How to face dilemmas in life. All these things will be covered in the upcoming weeks. So we have 13 minutes left. So if you have any questions, please do ask. Something in the chat box here. The great estimate of enemy strength. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one should actually praise Ravana for this quality. And also, it's not actually praising Ravana, but it's eventually all the praises should go to Hanuman, because he was the one who put that idea. He installed that idea in Ravana's mind. That's proper diplomacy. Okay. If you have any questions, please do go ahead. Hanuman burnt whole of Lanka, but what did people of Lanka do? They scattered away. They ran. They tried to protect their life. It's a city. Lanka is the capital city. The kingdom is very big. So they ran away. Many of them lost their lives as well. That's part of it. There seems to be no questions today at all. How is diplomacy viewed from Dharma's perspective? Oh, wonderful. We will see the Dharma's perspective in diplomacy in the upcoming session, where Rama faces a huge dilemma and how he comes to a conclusion. That is wonderful. That I think we will be able to cover it in the next week. But to answer the question immediately, see, when we have understood Dharma, then we would have understood the motive of our master or our leader. And anything that is in line, that is in alignment with the idea of our leader is Dharma. Anything that goes against the interests of the leader, by leader I mean the country, that is adharma. Earlier, back in those days, a leader and country were not two different things. They were not two different entities. A leader was an epitome of a country. A leader personified a country. So when we said that we are fighting for the king, we are fighting for my leader, it meant that we are fighting for the country. Now, because every 5 years we have different leaders, We have changed the narrative that we have to fight for the country, we have to fight for the land. It's always the king. The land belongs to the king. So if we are in alignment with the leader's perspective, if we have understood leaders' dharma means a status, a state of mind. If we have understood our leader's status of mind, then if we act accordingly, then it is dharma in diplomacy. If we act against it, then it is adharma in diplomacy. So that dharma comes from sahajatvam, innately, naturally, but you also said that dharma is difficult to follow. How a natural feeling is difficult to follow? Brilliant question. One of the finest questions that I have come across. Yes. See, it is natural and yet it is difficult because sattva, rajas, tamas, we have been uncovered, we have been engulfed by sattva, rajas and tamas. So even the most natural things, when they are covered, seems difficult to attain, seems difficult to access. And that's exactly what is happening with us. We are nothing but that Parabrahma. We are nothing but that Paranjyoti. This is what Advaita says. This is what Upanishad says. This is what Vedanta says. But if that is true, then how come we are not able to achieve it? Because of sattva, rajas, and tamas, and we should not forget about our karma. Have we done any small amount of karma? We have so much of baggage. So it takes time. So the barrier is so strong that it makes it appear even the simplest of things very difficult. I hope I answered this in a good way. Okay. Slowly is one of those days where we can end the session earlier than usual. It rarely happens, but it might happen today. What if the intention is for a good intention, but approach isn't pleasant? It could be. It could be. And there is possibility. So it's fair in diplomacy. And, much of these insights can be found in Arthashastra as well. See, I will tell you what Kautilya's decision is in this context. He is the one whom we consider as the authentic source for Arthashastra today. And at the end of Arthashastra, Kautilya himself says that if you ever find any conflict between the decision taken through Arthashastra and the decision given by Dharmashastra, the decision given by Dharmashastra triumphs over the decision taken by Arthashastra. It's very clear. So Dharmashastra is the final word on any decision. The entire Dandaniti, the entire Rajaniti depends on Dharmashastra. But then why do we have Arthashastra, you may ask? Arthashastra that is in alignment with Dharmashastra can take things forward. So by intention, if you mean protection of Dharma, then the approach might be a bit crooked one. Then it is fine. But if the intention is adharma, then no matter how noble the approach is, that makes no sense at all. I hope I was able to answer it. Hanuman never witnessed the valor of Sita, but he claims that nobody can stand in front of her. How he analyzed it? And he was a yogi himself as well, isn't it? As I said, no normal man can go and speak with Sita. For that, we need some prerequisites. As a prerequisite, they should be yogi. Do you think all of this happened only in the outer world, only in the materialistic world? I don't think so. All these things happened internally as well. There is this connection that everything happened internally. So it is possible to access all these things in yoga sadhana, through yoga sadhana as well. How Sugrīva or Rāma came to know that Nila was eligible to build bridge. He was traditionally an architect. His father, his forefather, they were all traditionally architects. So that's why, that's how they came to know that. How to read Rama? How to read Rama? You have to surrender yourself to the story of Ramayana. Start reading it. It all begins with small steps. So start reading it, and then you will understand. If you can read Kannada, then there is this wonderful publication, Bharata Darshana Prakashana. in Bangalore, Tyagaraja. They have published it. It's a wonderful work. It's almost close to the intention of the heart of Valmiki. Very beautifully explained. So I personally would suggest Bharata Darshana Prakashana's edition of Ramayana. It has 11 volumes, I guess. And they have this kind of edition of Mahabharata, Bhagavata, Markandeya Purana, and Harivamsha, and many other things. But their Ramayana, Bhagavata, Mahabharata is famous. This trilogy is very famous. So you can start reading that. It's in Kannada. If you are comfortable in Kannada, please do read that. Okay. If there are no more questions, then I think we can end it a little bit earlier. 4 minutes of discount today. Okay. If there are no more questions, then we can end this. Sri Krishna said that penance done to kill others is tamasikam. Yes. Penance done to kill others is definitely tamasikam. And this is the reason why Sita did not tapasaschānupalanāt. She wanted to pursue her tapas. Because once you utilize that tapasya to kill someone, to destroy someone, it is finished. This is the reason why Viśvāmitra sought the help of Rāma to remove the unwanted and unnecessary disturbances caused by Subahu and Maricha. Because every time he uses his penance to ward them off, he loses several miles. He has to start over again. That's why it is tamasic. Because tamas takes over when you want to destroy someone, and it's not good. Okay. Why Valmiki compared eyes of Sita, Ravana, and Vālī with those respected things? Sita kapindra kshanadacharana Vamani netrani samam sphuranti Rajiva hemajvalanopamani. See, Rajiva is Kamala. She usually have Kamala Nayana. And that's Jvalanopamani. Hema is, because he was the son of Surya. They belong to son of Surya and Indra. Indra, both Vālī and Sugrīva. So sun represents Hema, golden hue. And then Jvalanopamani. He breathed fire. He looked fire. So therefore, it's a metaphor. Okay. If there are no more questions, then we will end the session here today, and we will meet again in the next week. In the coming month. So 8 more sessions to go. So Valmiki repeats story repeatedly. Yeah, it's a good sign of narration, so that no reader ever forgets the story. It's a good sign of narration. But he does not repeat it see, there are 2 types of repetition. Students repeat themselves quite a lot in their exam papers because they have no clue what else to write. That is a bad kind of repetition. Valmiki's repetition is good one because he wants his readers not to forget the story. Okay. I think Sri Rama still has so many questions. What was the reason of telling Parashurama's episode? I think it was clear. Parashurama's episode was clear because it was to showcase that tapasya should always be important, and you should not act impulsively. No matter whether you are a Brahmana or a Kshatriya, you should not act impulsively. That's the hidden message, I guess. It's nothing that the Purva Avatara was defeated by the current Avatara. That's not right. That's not the right way to interpret.